How do you make money with tax sale overages? Well, congratulations, you came to the right place, because today I'm going to lay it out for you, show you how you make money with tax sale overages, and maybe, just maybe, get you into your next business. Because this is a great opportunity. It's the perfect time to be doing it, and I'm really thrilled to share this with you. I'm an attorney. I've been doing tax sale overages for over 10 years, and it is the best business in the world. The reason is because we help people get back money that they otherwise would never get back, and we help them get restarted in life, and we make a great living doing it. And if you have a business where you help people in an amazing way, in a tremendous way, and you make a lot of money, what could be better than that? That's the best business you could possibly have. I'm someone's hero literally every day, and you can be too. So let's talk about what tax overages are, how they work, and most importantly, how this is a business opportunity where you can make money for yourself and your family, because it is absolutely that. So tax overages are when money is left over after the taxes are paid out of the proceeds of a tax sale auction. A tax sale auction is when they sell someone's property, usually their house, could be land or anything else, but generally their house, because the person didn't pay the real estate taxes, typically for 3 to 4 years. So if you don't pay your taxes for 3 or 4 years, the taxman will come, they will sell that property at a public auction, and you won't be the owner anymore, and they're just going to sell it to the highest bidder. And this is the important thing to know. So they sell it to the highest bidder. What does that mean? That means that groups of people come together looking to buy properties at bargain prices. Usually at auctions, things go from anywhere from 70 to 80% of its as-is value. So let's say we had an average house in America that's worth a little more than $400,000 these days, according to the Federal Reserve. So a $400,000 house, it's going to sell for somewhere from 70 to 80% of its retail value at that point in time. So let's say that the house really doesn't need work. It's worth $400,000, so it's going to sell for $300,000 at the sale. And let's be more realistic about it, because usually these houses need work. Say that it needs $100,000 worth of fix-up because it's been neglected. Because usually these houses are 3 to 4 years behind, so it probably does need some work. So it sells for $200,000 at the auction because someone's taking into account renovation. Well, that property, if you had a $400,000 house, it's going to be a tax bill of around $8,000 a year. You're 4 years behind, that's $32,000 behind in taxes. You probably double that with penalties and interest because those are very high in taxes. So let's say for round figures, you owe $60,000 and it sells for $200,000. That means there's $140,000 left over, because what the government does is they auction the house to the highest bidder, say, sir, you win $200,000. The government collects the $200,000. They pay themselves the taxes that are due. So in this case, $64,000 goes out and they get paid. But that leaves them sitting there with $136,000 left over. And that's just the mathematical difference between the $64,000 owed in taxes versus $200,000 they collected at the auction. So they're sitting there with $136,000. They don't need it to pay the taxes, which means it's available for the former owner to claim and to get, because it really represents the equity in their house. It doesn't belong to the government, it belongs to the former owner. And I can tell you that is the law across the country because of a case called Tyler versus Hennepin County, which went to the U.S. Supreme Court last year and said that this extra money belongs to the former owner, and you, county and local governments, have to give people a chance to apply for that money. So that $136,000 is available for the former owner to claim. But there's a problem. The problem is that they have to formally file a claim, meaning fill in paperwork and claim it. But they don't know about the money. They think, oh, they sold my house, and therefore they keep the money. So of course you think the person who sold something is the one who keeps it. That's not legally correct. And as a lawyer, I can tell you, sometimes at first glance, things don't make sense, but then when you dig into them, you say, oh, now I understand how the law is always logical, which it is. So the logic of this is that, yes, the government gets its cut. Everything that it's owed, the cost of auction, the interest, the penalties, all of that. But anything above that doesn't belong to the government. It belongs to the former owner because it is equity in their property. So the government gets its part, but that's it. That money just sits there and waiting for a former owner to claim. Most of the time, these former owners don't claim the money. Now you might say, well, why would that be? Why would they not claim the money? Really simple. They don't know about it, and so they don't put a claim in because they don't know there's anything to claim. They think they sold my house, so they keep the money, and the person goes off and tries to rebuild their life, moves in with some relatives or gets, cheap housing, lives in their car, do whatever they're going to do until they can get their life rebuilt again and get a roof over their head. So we help people in that situation get that money back. And so the business of overages is getting the lists of people that are eligible to claim money with the amount of money that they're eligible to claim, getting that list, and then looking up the contact information for the people, which these days is easy. It's called skip tracing. Very easy to do these days. The records are just voluminous on people. You can do a search on the internet using the right websites, and you'll find almost anybody within 3, 4, or 5 minutes. You'll get all their good contact information from their social media account. You can send a message on to their current mailing address, to their cell phone number, to their email address. You can get all of it. Even their family members' contact information is on there. It's crazy how powerful it is. So we get that contact info. We reach out to people. We end up talking to them on the phone and say, hey, there's this money that we've located that you're eligible to claim. And our business is helping people claim this money, and we work for a percentage. So if we're successful, we get paid. Not successful, doesn't cost you a dime, nothing to worry about. And so people sign up with us. We go and we apply for this money. We get the money. We keep our portion, and we pay them their portion. And typically our portion's 30 to 40%. People can set their own fees. There are different people in the business, but 30 or 40% is what we charge. And people are happy because they're getting this windfall they never knew about, never would have had without us. And it's amazing because when you lost your house and you get back, $60, $70, $80,000 or more that you didn't expect, it is absolutely amazing, life-changing money. We literally, people living in their car, that we get them a check for $70,000 or $80,000. The next day, they're in housing. They're back in life again. They can get some clothes and get themselves cleaned up, get a job, and be back in life again. So it's really a business. If you want to be someone's hero and you want to make money in a way that you're helping people, it is the most amazing business of all. Very inexpensive business to get into because we're getting public records lists. We're using low-cost skip tracing services, typically cost us $30, $40 to $50 a month. And we're just calling people up. We're sending them messages on the internet, and we're signing them up. We don't need to have an office, and you wouldn't need an office for this. You don't have to hire a bunch of staff. You can start out by yourself. I've expanded my business, so I do have a staff now. But when we started, it was just me and my phone and email and ability to write some letters. Really very straightforward. It is a great business. And what I like the most about it, because there's so many ways to make money. I can make money every day. I think of 10 new ways I could make money. But the business that I want is a business where I help people, I deliver amazing value, and they're thrilled to have done business with me at the end. And I'm changing their life. And this is the greatest business that way. Business I'm very proud of, absolutely love. And it's an enormous business. Right now we have a lot of people struggling, especially at the bottom end of our financial spectrum. They're struggling. They really are. They're like one broken transmission away from not being able to get to work and keep their job. It's literally that bad. And this business allows us to help those people, to get them into housing, get them back into life, literally keeps families together, and just keeps people in a much better place. It is a great business. It's so big that right now we have a database that is part of the country. It's not at all the whole country, just a part of it. That database is over $350 million worth of overages leads in it, over 14,000 separate leads of people that need help, and we can't even get to a small percentage of those, and we'll get to a very small percentage. Like right now we have $6.4 million of leads under contract. We'll do about that, another 6.4 million over the next 6 months or so. But out of 350 million, that's a very small portion of that money. That's, I guess, about 2%. That's a small part of it. And every day there are 3,000 properties sold at foreclosure auctions. So, it's just this never-ending supply. And like I said, we're not even covering the whole country. So if you think this sounds interesting, then I have the next step for you, which is, if you look down below, there's a link to the intro to the Overages business. In there, it's a 15 to 20 minute video where I go over more details of this business, help you evaluate if this is right for you. Because let's face it, if you're going to talk about a business and think about going into something, it needs to be something that's a right fit for you. And I think this business is the right fit for a good-hearted person who truly wants to help people, but also wants to make a lot of money and is comfortable making a lot of money because it's a profitable business. So if that fits you, you should definitely check this out. It doesn't take a lot of money to start or run the business. Really wonderful that way. So click on that video link to the intro to the Overages business. It's right here on YouTube, completely free. And if you like it after that, we do offer full training. We offer in-person events. We offer home study course. So you can get started right away. As a matter of fact, go through that video and go through the next step, and you could be started today and getting training, getting started in your business, and be reaching out to people within the next 2 weeks or so. You could be reaching out and your business could actually be started. It's pretty amazing. So this is Attorney Bob Diamond. Hope this is helpful to you. Hopefully you understand more about overages now, how they work and where they come from, and what the opportunity is so you can make the next step if this is for you. Because I think it's a great business. Best business I've ever owned, and I look forward to doing it, for till the end of my days, because it is such a wonderful business. So click on the link below and I'll see you over at that video.